kind of role do you think you could play on this team next year and moving forward?
I think staying consistent in what I've been doing. I think trying to be that energy guy, that glue guy for the team. Knock down open shots, take the drives when they're there, rebound the basketball, play defense, and bring a certain level of toughness out there. Those are my main focus. That's my role right now, and that's what I'm trying to excel in. And if more opportunity opens up for more, I'm always there for it, and I'm always ready for it. But I think being that for my team and trying to stack some wins for them, for sure.
And which one of your teammates inspired you the most, and why?
Inspired this year? I'm gonna say Smart. I've known Smart for a couple years. I played with him in Boston, but just his approach to the game, his love for the game, and his energy around everybody, it kind of just is like it's an inspiration. Like he tough, hard nosed dude. Plays defense. He kind of does some of the things that I do out there, and just seeing him and feeling his energy around the gym has kind of made me like want to wake up and like be like, you know what, like step into that role and be that kind of player for the team.
What did you learn in the G League this season that helped you do so well in the NBA?
I think the biggest thing that I learned in the G League this year was perseverance and resilience. I think knowing that it's not always going to be pretty and perfect, but as long as you keep fighting and keep trying and keep your head down and go for the goals that you have, you can get there.
You put up some crazy numbers over the last 5 games. What did that do for your confidence?
A little bit of a confidence booster. I've always known that I've had it in me to go out there and do that. But it definitely made me feel good, end the season on a good note, going into next year and trying to just take that into the summertime and continue to work on my game and come back a new player.
You mentioned having known that you could do it. I feel like you've said that along the way a few times, but has there been anything where you've surprised yourself that you've done in the NBA or with this team?
I think my shooting. I think that I put a lot of work in this past summer on my shooting, and just kind of seeing it come to light in the game is definitely something I was like, wow, I could actually turn myself into a NBA level shooter and be a threat from out there and have teams kind of respect me on that level. But yeah.
Yeah, on that note, you've come a long way as a shooter, especially since college. What did it take to kind of have this breakthrough? What did that hard work look like?
I will say that hard work probably looked a lot like a lot of tears some days, a lot of frustrations, but also a lot of blood and sweat as well with the tears. Going into the G League games, kind of just day in and day out, forging my mindset to be like you're an NBA player, you can get there, you could do all these things, and kind of having an unbreakable confidence or undying belief in myself that I can get to where I got to get to, and it took a lot, 4 years, 5 years from college, but here now and try to keep it going.
And then, one more from me. We heard the story you told us about playing one-on-one against Bub at Pitt.
Oh yeah.
You kind of had a feeling he'd make it to the NBA. You knew him, but being his teammate for a year now, what stood out?
His energy, man. Aside from his play, his energy. He is probably one of the most playful people I've been around since I've been in college. There's never a dull moment with him, even when he's going through his own personal problems. He's always there for the team and always making sure that everybody has a smile on their face. And very mature for his young age, and he has a super, super, super bright future ahead of him.
We talked a little bit about the offensive surge at the end of the season. It also seemed like your role expanded. What was the team allowing you to do that they maybe weren't earlier in the season? How did your role change on offense?
We were down bodies, down guys. They kind of just told me, just go out there and play a game, have fun, do what you do. But I feel like I was able to just, kind of take the shots that I felt were in rhythm or felt like were aligned with the things that I've done previously in the G League. But my coaches always tell me go out there and play my game and be who you are. I think that, the lack of bodies is kind of just why it all played out the way it played out sometimes. But the rebounding, though, is me. I need those balls in the air. JC needs that. Um, but yeah, it was cool to end the season out like that. Kind of get some free run and just feel good going into summertime.
What did the team want you to focus on this off season, and where are the areas that you're trying to improve the most?
It's weird. I think my game is pretty simple. Shoot open threes, drive, rebound, play defense. I think honing in on those areas and turning them into from good to great. I think that's my goal for this next season, my jump, and coming back and being able to play and plug in with any group and guard anybody on the court.
What are your expectations for yourself next season? You had this breakout year, you get the contract, but what does building on this look like next year?
I think just coming in from the jump and trying to establish myself, and try to carve out a role for myself early on in the year and try to keep that role and be consistent in that role throughout the whole 82 games.